now I'm ready.
Post Chat was brought to you by Northwestern Social Justice News Nexus, evaluating how drugs impact Chicago. Today we'll be talking to Windy City Live's Ryan Chiaverini and ABC7 IT reporter Jason Knowles. They will be doing a two-part segment. One, get to know you. Number two, how drugs impact Chicago, starting right now.
All right.
Okay.
That was pretty good.
That's good.
All right.
You're quick on your feet.
Yeah.
So let's begin.
There's no teleprompter. Yeah, first thing.
So let's begin with, what do you guys love most about working at ABC?
I think that our station has so much history and tradition here. I mean, obviously the ratings have been #1 for so long. There's a really high standard here. But the fact that we have reporters and anchors that have been here for 30 years, so they've kind of seen it all in the city. And it's inspirational too when we give out awards for 10, 20, 30-year employees, and we have someone that's been here 50 years in the building. And we've had several people to make it to 30 is like nothing.
And then up here, we see they're so young. Even like Linda, you saw her photo, like she's still young.
Amazing.
She looks great.
She looks great.
And Luke Williamson, one of our photographers, he was one of my photographers on the morning show. He got a 45-year statue, and it's Walt Disney himself.
Wow, that's what you got, 45? Yeah, it's cool. So that's what it is for me. I think it's the history and tradition, and the fact that once you get here, you stay here, and so you have that that stability here.
That family niche.
Yeah.
Because you see the whole picture.
Yeah.
So I want to ask each of you, what was your most memorable year, Jason?
My most memorable year? Well, I think I may have 3 to talk about. My first year here, starting as special segments producer. My second year here, or not my second year here, was probably my 5th year here on my second job when I became a morning reporter, because my dream had come true. I was a reporter in a top 5 market, living my dream in a great city at an amazing station, kind of echoing what Ryan just talked about, being at a station that has so much history and tradition and is so credible, and a station that so many people take seriously. It's not like you're just on a random station where you're begging people to watch you. People see you when you are on this station, and people know you at the station. And then my 3rd year would be starting this job now, because this is just an incredible journey, and it's a little overwhelming, but in a good way, and I'm having a blast doing it.
Yeah, it's hard to pick just one year. I would say the very first year I got hired here 8 years ago stands out, and the Bears went to the Super Bowl that year. They hadn't been to the Super Bowl since '85, and so everybody thought I was the good luck charm until they lost in the Super Bowl. But covering that Super Bowl was probably, it's up there. Also, being on the ice when the Hawks won their first Stanley Cup in more than 35 years. I was actually on the ice doing interviews while they were skating the Stanley Cup around. And it's so real because for so many years as a hockey fan, I've watched this image of these athletes do that, and to actually be there was really, really cool. And then 3 years ago, I'll never forget, I was at spring training covering the Cubs that day, and my phone rang, and I was thinking this might be somebody from the station, and I answered it, and it was our president and general manager, Emily Barr, offering me the Windy City Live job after months of auditioning. So I would have to say, launching the show, I can't believe we're 3 years in next month.
It's a great show, too.
Wow. Thanks, buddy.
Windy City Live.
It's awesome, too, that both of us have had different positions here.
Yeah, that's unique, huh? I've actually had 3 positions here.
You've
I started as a sports reporter, and then I went to sports anchor.
So both of us have.
Yeah, 3 positions, yeah.
Here.
Which
I
why
didn't even
parallel.
realize.
That's right, and why people stay for so long.
I know.
There's a lot of chance to grow and do different things, too.
What's the best advice someone ever gave you?
You got something, Jace? Don't eat yellow snow?
Don't eat it, especially on the morning show.
Yeah.
Because I'm always standing in the show.
Yeah.
In the snow. The best advice. I'm trying to think.
I think honestly, for me, while you think,
while I ponder, you can.
I think for me, the best advice is don't tell anybody that you can't do it. I mean, like my dad told me that. He's like, hey, you don't let other people dictate what you can do in your life and in your profession. I remember when I wanted to play college football at the University of Colorado, my twin brother was a superstar athlete, played in the NFL, could have played anywhere. And I remember telling my dad, Dad, I don't know if I can, honestly, I don't know if I can play at that level. Like, most people that I talk to don't think I can play at that level right away. And he's like, why are you going to let them dictate what you think you can do? You know, if you don't go and you give it a shot, then you're not going to know. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to fail, because you will. Everything is success and failures. I've had plenty of failures in my life. But if you don't try it and you just let somebody else tell you what you can do, what you can accomplish. So I remember my dad telling me that, and I ended up walking on and I got a scholarship by my junior year, so it worked out. What do you think?
I'd say, well, kind of playing off a little bit about what you said, it's similar. Always tell people what you want, because nobody's going to come to you and say, oh, you're an amazing talent. I think I want to make you the anchor of the 10 p.m. news. You need to say, I want to anchor the 10 p.m. news. I'm just using that as a hypothetical. I'm not saying that. But my point being is, you always have to say what you want to do and tell people you can do it and get in front of their faces, because a manager, especially at a station of this size, has a million people under responsibilities and things that they're thinking of. You know, you may be the best talent in the world or the most aggressive person in the world, but if you don't get out there and actually physically say, I want to do this, you may never get it.
Right.
Nobody's going to pluck you out of obscurity.
Right, and you look at you look at guys like Tyler Perry, who is incredibly successful. He talked about like pounding the pavement for so many years and trying to tell people and trying to do it, and then he finally did it. But it wasn't like somebody just handed Tyler Perry an empire.
No.
You know, he really grinded. He failed a lot. He kept picking himself up and kept pushing forward. And I think that's the best advice that I would give a guy like you that's trying to do this. I mean, keep working at it, keep doing what you're doing, get better at it by practicing and getting more polished. I've already seen your writing skills, good writer, so you just keep doing it.
And you're, like we said before, you're a natural right away. You had no hesitation opening up.
Yeah, you weren't nervous, that's for sure.
So next hypothetical. Okay, let's just bring this out here. Like, I've interviewed Bill Curtis, and Bill Curtis said when I interviewed him that he liked the way I dressed. Like me and him, I dressed the way he liked it, like in his old photo. So my question is, how do you guys maintain such a stylish brand of clothing?
Watching other people, right? We just copy with it. Oh, the guy's wearing a pocket square now? Let's put a pocket square in there. That must be cool. Yeah.
Tight clip?
Yes.
I take pictures sometimes of the screen, and I hate to admit it. I've taken some pictures of, you may think this is strange, but even like Jimmy Kimmel, and he's lost a lot of weight recently, but he has some great suits, great ties, great style.
Yeah.
So some of the late night guys,
yeah, you see what they're
dress
wearing.
really well.
Sure.
So yeah, we watch, and it's always something different, and you're always keeping up with it.
Right.
You're never just gonna say, oh, I'm done, I have all my clothing, because it's part of the job.
Because I actually find it funny how like we're showing how 3 different ways you can wear a suit. Like Ryan dressed him like with no tie, just with a tie and just a tie vest. So where she's showing 3 different ways.
Right, there you go. Yeah, and there's no right or wrong. It's really what you're comfortable in. Yeah.
I like the no tie look too.
Yeah.
When I can get away with it. I did a promo with it.
But tie,
the promo running on today, I had no tie.
But the reason why I say it because like no tie like Ryan's niche, like tie is your niche.
Yeah, well on the set for news, you have to, it's just a different, we do different things. So I try to have a tie on when I'm on the set, because I'm delivering a story that I want people to really think, oh, he was talking about.
But it shows your brand.
But I do some interviews and some things without a tie. I like mixing it up. I think it's good to do that.
Yeah.
Loosen up a little.
Yeah, and our show is very kind of conversational and loose, and so you can kind of wear the open look a little bit more.
Next question.
And I save a lot of money on ties.
Next question. Oh, as you heard, there's a story to of people making graveyard selfies. So my question to you guys is, if you could make a graveyard selfie, like you actually write about what you're going to say about yourself.
Wow.
Oh, I've never heard of this.
Yeah,
wow.
it was
a graveyard selfie. Yeah, I'm going to talk about so many city lives.
It was a recent.
Man.
It's told this guy who wrote about his own self. Like he probably wrote his own obituary.
He wrote his own obituary.
So this is like a more sophisticated way of how you want to be remembered. So if you could do a graveyard selfie about yourself, like maybe a sentence, what do you want that graveyard selfie to say?
Wow, that's putting me on the spot here, Josh. Hopefully I have a lot more years to think about the sentence. I don't know exactly what I'd want it to say, but I mean, my sense of humor is certainly something that I hope that people would remember me for. I always want to make people laugh and have a great time, and I'm incredibly social and friendly and warm. I mean, those are probably the characteristics that I'd want to be in that sentence somewhere.
Yeah, I would want something similar. People know that I'm a nice guy, that I'm looking out for others,
and he has stylish clothes.
I don't know about that, but I love my family, my friends, and I truly remember what is important in life. The job is great, the career is great. You gotta love it, but you also have to remember that back in all ends. You have to really keep family close and close friends close as well.
So Ryan Jason's gonna stick around. We're about to have this conclusion of part 1 of Host Chat. Part 2, Ryan and Jason discuss SJNN's topic of the year, how drugs impact Chicago. We'll be right back.